If you want to improve your user-generated content to run better ads, get better clicks, and ultimately drive more sales for your business, then I've got a great one for you today. What's going on, guys? It's Spencer here, and today I'm going to walk you through our end-to-end process of how we are able to create winning ads month over month for our clients at EZA Media. If you're new to the channel, EZA Media is the growth-focused agency that I manage, where we help multiple 6- and 7-figure brands scale to 8 figures. And in this video, I'm going to completely pull back the curtain on our systems of how we generate hundreds of thousands of dollars per month in sales for our clients using these exact strategies. So to not waste any more time, let's jump at the screen and see what it's all about. So as you can see, we are inside our EZAMediaMonday.com board, and what I have pulled up here is one of our SOPs for how to actually source creators, which leads me to the first point, and probably the most important one that is so severely overlooked, especially with the amount of user-generated content creators that are out there nowadays. You need to make sure you source a high-quality content creator. The biggest mistake that we see brands do is just hire any creator that makes content, which leads to super low-quality videos. No matter how great your strategy is on the back end, if you don't have someone who can execute, that ad is probably not going to convert. So the first thing that we like to do is we like to make a post on Twitter. Now, speaking of there being a million different creators online and everyone and their mom and their dog being able to create content, Twitter is a great place for you to tap into the user-generated content community, or the content creator community, and just simply make a post saying exactly what you're looking for. Make sure you're being specific and including demographic information like, hey, we're looking for a mom that has children that is into health and wellness, or whatever it may be. Make sure you make a detailed Twitter post about what you're looking for so you can start generating some inbound leads for your brand. Next thing you can do is you can try a website like Collapster.com, which, shout out to Kyle, absolute legend for making this. This is basically Upwork for influencers, so you can actually start browsing through here as well. And this is something that we do all the time. Again, there's great search filters in here and categories that you can look through and platforms, and you can basically just have an entire portfolio of creators for you to go look at and contact through Collapster, which is a great way to also start sourcing creators and getting interviews on the books. The third step that we have here is a TikTok search to find profiles. Now, this is probably my favorite method, probably the most effective method, as if you just simply go to your TikTok account and you look up hashtag whatever your niche is. So in this scenario for the client that I'm showcasing, they are in this survival wilderness kind of niche. You will find a bunch of creators that clearly know how to create content that gets views and is probably gonna help you get conversions. So this video has 8.2 million views, and he is in our exact niche. So this is a creator that you would definitely want to reach out to. So if I were to click on his profile and probably go visit his link tree, I'm not going to go expose this guy's information in this video, but you would be able to find their email, which leads me to step number 4, which is sending emails to these creators. So if you can just contact these creators and say, hey, we're interested in working with you. Here's our brand. Here's what we're looking for. Here's our budget. Does this sound like a good idea? And you're going to get so many more replies. And again, the whole idea of this is just to have a lot of creators to look at. Because if you're making that mistake of, just only interviewing and hiring the first creator that you speak to, you're not going to get the best content. So the reason why I want to spend a lot of time on this is because this is probably the most important part of this whole process. If you don't have a great creator, your user-generated content is not going to convert. So again, step 4, make sure you send a bunch of emails. And then step 5, 6, and 7 is essentially just how we stalk these people down. So follow them on Twitter, and if you find a profile that you like on TikTok and you've got access to their Twitter from their link tree or whatever, take them in your post. And then you can also follow people on Instagram, and you can DM, and obviously it's cheesy being that guy that comments on the latest post, but you can do that as well just to get their attention. You can send a LinkedIn connection if they have LinkedIn, and just follow up with these creators, especially if you see one that you're like, oh, this is my ideal creator. Then put the effort in to actually get these people to notice your brand. I'll be honest with you, the creators that are looking for work, probably not the creators you want to work with. The creators that are already working with companies and are probably too busy to care about people that are, making posts on Twitter and whatnot, those are probably the creators you want to work with. Long rant aside, follow these steps to make sure you find a perfect content creator for your brand. The next step is going to be the creative strategy, which is my favorite part. And for us at the agency, and depending on the client, we have a certain system that we use, which if you want a video for that, I might make a video on it. We have an entire AI automated post-purchase survey that we run our clients through to figure out exactly what our customers feel needs improvement, what made them purchase, how they feel about the value, and any concerns that they have. So obviously we can have creative strategies that are incredibly accurate based on our clients' customers. The majority of people that might not have that, the best thing you can do is just start reading the reviews on your store. If you have reviews on your store, go through and read them and see what people are saying. Best user-generated content comes from ideas that your customers will leave in reviews or what other third parties will say about you. Make sure that in the second step, you do a lot of research. So once you go through and do the research to figure out what your customers need, that's going to lead me to step number 3, which is executing the storyboard. Now, at our agency, we use a Google Sheet just because it's very easy for everyone to have access to. Now, there are certain tools like Foreplay that are great for writing out briefs, but it is so important that once you find that ideal creator and once you do the research to understand what people like about your product and what we need to call out, now we need to execute a vision board for our creator to follow. So that way we have structure around the ads so that the end result of this video that the creator makes is extremely optimized for the platform. Now, what we like to do is we like to divvy it up by the element, the clip number, the activity, the line and copy that the creator should be following, and then essentially just instructions for what we are looking for them to film. For example, you can see this hook right here in clip 001 is going to be him saying, this is the perfect fire starter for any emergency. All this creator is going to do is light the spark to start the fire. Obviously, that's a pretty intense hook because anytime there's a fire starting in the hook, that's going to grab attention. So make sure that when you're doing these storyboards or briefing these storyboards for your creator, that you have a hook that just really grabs attention. Again, another great way to essentially just get hook inspiration is to jump into an app like Foreplay or just go into the Facebook ads library and start looking at a bunch of brands that are similar to you to see what kind of ads they're running and what kind of hooks are performing well. Now, if we go into step number 2, which is introducing the product. So again, in this flow, you'll see it's pretty standard for all of our creatives, so feel free to steal it, but it's going to be hook, product intro, feature, product demo, and then basically a benefit series where we talk about the benefits, and then we call out the audience and we have a final CTA. Now, everyone says to lead with benefits, but the thing is if you lead with the feature, people are way more likely to believe benefits after that. For example, if I told you that I've spent over $1 million on ads, which is a fact, and then told you that I run an incredible marketing agency, which is essentially a benefit, probably way more likely to believe that I actually run a good marketing agency. Compared to if I say, hey, I run the best marketing agency ever, I might lose you right then and there before I actually am able to provide some credibility. So on a slight side tangent, that's why leading with features sometimes is a great way to structure your video to kind of break the pattern of what everyone else is doing. Now, we're sometimes mixing this up, and thankfully my creative director is way smarter than I am, so she is the one that is constantly mixing and matching these. But at the end of the day, the flow that we have here obviously is important, but what's great about this method is that if we film it in clips like we're instructing the creator to do, then able to mix and match clips based on whatever you want to do and creating a bunch of different concepts for you to get the most out of this content. By doing the storyboard format and making sure that you're laying everything out as a subsection and telling the creator to film this as a separate clip, that gives you so much more ammunition to start testing all these kinds of different variants of ads. As to the activity, our creative director likes to provide a visual cue for the creator to show them exactly what we're asking them to do. So for example, we need you to do a headshot here speaking about the feature, and then here we need you to show us the necklace while you're holding it. Certain instructions like this for the creator are crucial to make sure that you're executing at the level that you need to be executing on. As for copy, this is probably the most important thing, is to make sure that your creator knows that this is essentially a guideline for them to follow, okay? We do not want our creators to be robots, and we do not want them to force them to say anything, but it's super important that you give them a guideline so they can follow it and just say whatever feels natural to them. Once that storyboard process is done, all that's left to do is test. And as you can see, this is something that we're still currently testing, this exact storyboard for this client. And so far, we're getting very solid results. We're getting a 3.36 return on ad spend. We've had about a 27% hook book rate, which is pretty good, and a hold rate of 12%, which is very, very good. And you can see our click-through rate is above 3%. Our cost per unique click is less than $1, and we can see our conversion rate and average order value are also extremely high. All of this is a result of going through and interviewing a bunch of creators, finding the perfect creator for this brand specifically. Shout out to JJ if you're watching this. And then conducting the research to find out what people like about the product that we're showcasing. And then finally putting it all together in a storyboard. That is how we've been able to spend the upwards of $10, $30, and in this case, $64,000 on a single ad while being incredibly profitable and generating a ton of sales. So that's all I've got for you today. If you enjoyed this video and got value, make sure you thumbs up this video, leave a comment down below and subscribe for more videos like this as I post weekly. And as always, if you're a multiple 6 or 7-figure e-commerce brand looking to partner with a growth focused agency, make sure you book a time with me down below to get your free action plan. With all that said, thank you for taking the time to watch today's video, and I will see you next week.